Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. We had a technical issue, but we've been able to restart the stream. No idea quite what happened there, but it happens from time to time. When you're live all day, every day, you sometimes get an issue, but we are back. And thank you ever so much, everyone who's tuned back in again. I just need to reset a couple of things because we lost connection, but the call hasn't yet started, so you haven't missed anything at all. Of course, we're early, we always are, so don't worry about that. We're all good. So we're looking forward to covering the earnings. Just checking a couple of things here. Right. Let's check a couple of things. Just please bear with me as we reset the stream. We had a technical issue, but we'll have it back now. We should be back. Welcome, everybody. Sorry that we lost the stream, but we are back. We had a couple hundred people as well, which would be a shame to lose them, but hopefully we'll all come back. It's starting to go up now, 33. I'm sorry about that, folks. We had a technical issue. Had to reset the stream. And I think we're all back up and running. Palantir earnings. Let me just now see if we've got any numbers.
That Canadian oil contract, right. The WCS,
No,
Western Canadian Select. But as I will go back to you, like a song or a bad...
Palantir earnings, we'll check it here. No, nothing there. Bloomberg, nothing there. No, we're not getting any confirmation of any beats yet. Let me double check here as well. Certainly, we expect it to go up, but not like that. Oh, it's a massive beat. Yes, it's a huge beat. Yes, yes, yes. We've got the numbers now. It's a massive beat. 11 cents a share, 14 cents a share. An absolutely huge beat, a record beat, a record beat. Look at that. So there we go. It's a huge beat for Palantir tonight. Massive. That's why it's gone up so much. And there we go. The S&P has hardly moved on the news yet, but Palantir, absolute massive. Midnight Bob, yes, this is live. Huge beat tonight on Palantir. Congratulations, everyone. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. And I really am extremely excited about this. This is really, really great. So Palantir, we've got 45 minutes before the call begins, and everyone's made a ton of money here. So congratulations to you. We're coming to $100 now. I mean, can you believe it? This was like, I mean, we bought this, what, about $9, $8, something like that. And now look at it, 95. Wow, it's a 10x. From when we first bought this. Wow, congratulations, everybody. So could you help me, folks, get the stream out? We had to restart. Please tap the like button and click share. If you can, that'd be really, really great. We had to reset the stream because there was a technical issue. It happens sometimes. And unfortunately, that's the way it goes. Palantir, huge earning. We're still talking trade wars at the moment. We're keeping our eye open for Palantir. So let's have some fun. Let's get 100 likes if we can. So here we go. Let's pump this up. Let's put this out here. You ready? Let's have some fun right now. We've got 107 watching. We just lost everybody who was tuned in with us. Hopefully now everybody will come back and tune in. We want to get 100 likes. That way we can get the video suggested out. All right, we're at 6 likes. Let's refresh the screen. We've got to start all over again as we lost stream. We're now got 17. We're on the way up. Come on, 107. Unfortunately, all my promotion earlier is useless now because we've lost the stream. It's really frustrating, but there it is. These things do happen. Unfortunately, just got to ride with it. We'll come back to it in a second. Let's see if we can get 100 likes up. Quick cheers, everybody. Okay. 15 points, 16 points. This is amazing. Absolutely fantastic. Yes, the likes are going up now. Now we're starting to get everybody in. Sorry about everybody. We lost the stream. We had to start again. And I do apologize for the interruption. But we haven't got to the Palantir earnings yet. We're a long way off. It's incredible. I had 1,600 people watching. Look at this. What a time. What a time to lose our connection. Look, we had 1,600 in, and we've got to start all over again. But anyway, some people will say, well, that's all right, because now you can get ad revenue twice. Well, there is that way of looking at it, but it doesn't really work like that. But anyway, hopefully we can get everybody in. It's a massive beat tonight. We're trying to get 100 likes, so please tap the like button. That would be absolutely great. Let me just bring a few things in. Let me just bring a few things in. Just got to update a couple of settings because we lost connection. So I'm just making sure everything is right. Yes. That's all good. We've got closed captions on. We've got 45 minutes before the call starts. So there's plenty of time. I just want to make sure we've got everything right before we continue. Yeah, it looks like everything is good. Great. Right. Now then, this stock, I can... just come back to the main screen. Let's see where we are. We had 1,600 people got to start all over again now. It's a great shame. Anyway, let's try and get 100 likes. Tap the like button. That would be awesome. And let us know you're here. 17. Let's refresh the screen. Big news tonight. Alex Karp beating on earnings. A massive beat, actually. Really, really good. And you know that this is an interesting company. And we'll talk about it in a second. Let me finish that a minute. Let me just get straight onto this. Thank you ever so much, everybody, who shared the like button there. Anyway, let's get straight onto it, why this is so important. This company is one that we expect to do really, really well because it's all to do with procurement and saving money for businesses. And that is what Trump and Elon Musk are all about. This is going to be big favor with Trump, big favor with Elon Musk. So don't be surprised if this one really, really takes off quickly. This could be one of those stocks that really does explode. Those of you that own the S&P, remember you own this, and remember the way the S&P reacts. It's slow. The VU is slow. So expect, in fact, if I bring up SPY, let me just do SPY a minute. You might see SPY has already gone up. Remember after hours? Let's have a look. Slightly ahead. Slightly ahead, not much. If I go to VU, you'll see. You remember we did this the other day? Yeah, it's hardly anything. Yeah, it's 0.01 difference between this and VU. Hardly anything to be worried about, so I wouldn't be worried about that. Remember, we told you how you can actually beat the market like that with the S&P with VU. It has to be after hours. It has to be NVIDIA or Apple, and it has to be a big swing, which this is. But Palantir isn't a big enough position in the S&P to make it move the same way as NVIDIA does and Apple does. So we need to just look at it slightly different. But it's really, really good. You will see a benefit in time. By tomorrow, you'll see the S&P move on this, but not much. But if Tesla does well as well, and Tesla's still down from that smack in the face from Canada this morning, talking about 100% tariffs on Tesla, that's still struggling. It's been down big today. Anyway, Palantir. Let's talk about Palantir a minute. It's one of our favorite stocks, actually. It's massively overbought. People are always overpaying for it. It's very much a darling for the retail investor, and that's a big gamble. A lot of people really pump this. It's very popular on YouTube. People like to say it's going to go up forever and all those kind of things. We don't like doing that. We like to look for quality value here on this show. We're not interested in just pumping anything for the sake of it, because you end up losing at some point. We don't lose. We don't ever do that. So Palantir is great, and because it's all to do with AI, but mainly to do with efficiency of companies or efficiency of everything. This is why it's going to be very popular with Trump, very popular with Elon Musk, and it's a very popular, sexy stock anyway that everyone seems to really enjoy. So there you go. Oh, the tie is...
Vaz donated £5 through a super chat. The tires, A-OK hand, A-OK hand.
Thank you very much. You might notice I'm not wearing a jacket. All of a sudden, the heat has come back into Texas, and it's only flipping February. So here we go once again. It's about to get mega hot and, about to get really uncomfortable in Texas. So we only get a few weeks of cold, and then it just goes from cold to boiling. There's no just open the windows and have a bit of fresh air. There's none of that, I'm afraid. Anyway, it is what it is. All right, welcome everybody. Please tap the like button. We want to share this out as many people as possible. We just lost our stream and had to start all over again. Anyway, it is what it is. Okay. Thank you ever so much, everyone who's recently subscribed to the channel. We are now 62,071. We're growing very quickly. We should be 100,000 subscribers by the summer and 1 million now in under 3 years. It's growing faster and faster all the time. So thank you very much, everybody who... I'm so disappointed. I cannot tell you. We had one of the biggest audiences for Palantir, and we've lost everybody because I had a break in signal. And hopefully they'll all come back because the call doesn't start yet for 40 minutes, but been very, very frustrating. But there it is. These things happen, right? Anyway, let's get to it. Let's get busy. Have we got any information coming in from Wall Street yet? Let's have a quick listen. They're on a break. Of course, they're on a break. Palantir. Let's have a look here. Nothing there. Here we go. Right. Okay. I'm going to give you more of the earnings now. Earnings, revisions, earnings surprise, transcripts. That's an old one. SEC filings, that's an old one. Transcripts, news. Today, here we go. So I'm going to give you the details now. This is really, really great. Are you ready? Okay, Palantir. So, Palantir Technology, non-GAAP EPS. In fact, what I'll do is I'll turn this into a video as well. So, I'll do this now. Let me make a video out of this. It'll go out later for those who watch in different time zones. PLTR. Let me take the time. Let me put the time out. The time is 12:19. 12. Okay, that's close enough. And let me give you the news. All right. Palantir, breaking news, ticker symbol PLTR. A massive, massive beat tonight. We're going to talk about the stocks as we await the earnings call. As I'm recording this, we are live waiting for the earnings call to begin. You can see here how it literally popped up big time. Let me go over to this screen here. Palantir earnings tonight. Look at that. A 14.27. It was up nearly 16% a few seconds ago. If we scroll down, you can see it's a massive beat. It's a record beat. Look at that there. We've got 14 cents and expected 11. It's absolutely floored Wall Street. A very solid growth and a huge beat. Congratulations to Alex Karp and the team. Let's talk about the numbers and let's talk about the business very quickly. Before the earnings call, we've got half an hour to go before the call. Palantir non-GAAP EPS of 14 beats by 3 cents. Revenue 827.52 million beats by 46.28 million. This is a great result. Palantir Nasdaq Q4 non-GAAP EPS 14 beats by 3. Revenue 827 million, up 36% year on year. Beats by 46.28 million, close 129 deals of at least 1 million, 58 deals of at least 5 million, and 32 deals of at least 10 million. Close a record-setting 803 million of US commercial total contract value, up 134% year over year and 170% quarter over quarter. Please tap the like button if you like this. I'm making this during a live stream, and consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you very much indeed. US commercial remaining 1.79 billion, up 99% year over year and 47% quarter over quarter. Customers count grew 43% year over year and 13% quarter over quarter. Cash from operations of 460 million, representing a 56% margin. Outlook for Q1 25, we expect revenue between 858 to 862 million versus consensus of 799. So expecting a beat again Adjusted income from operations of between 354 to 358 million. For full year, we expect revenue to be between 3.741 and 3.757 billion versus consensus of 3.5. Another good beat expected. U.S. commercial revenue excess of 1.07 billion, representing a growth rate of 54%. Adjusted income from operations between 1.551 and 1.567 billion. Adjusted free cash flow of between 1.5 and 1.7 billion. GAAP operating income and net income in each quarter of this year. The shares are up at that moment 7.52. Then they popped up 15%. So let's talk about Palantir just for a moment. I think it's really important, this one. This is one famous for Alex Karp. Is very, very controversial character, very exciting character indeed. However, we need to remember that this is a company that is massively, massively overbought, but now a big favor of Trump and Elon. I'll talk about that in a moment. But just remind ourselves, before you get carried away and keep wanting to buy, Alex and the team have been taking profits, and they're bound to do it again. Let me just show you how overbought this stock is. We like to look for quality value here. Remember, we bought this for 9. We would not be buying this now. PE forward 215 times earnings. It's one of the most expensive stocks on half an hour to go before the earnings. Please tap the like button. And please consider subscribing, would be kind. That would be great. Now, tomorrow morning, we've got earnings. Remember, if you are a member of our channel, let me give you the link. There's the membership link. If you are a member of the channel, you can book in an earnings. You can ask me to do an earnings and a review. Tomorrow, we are doing reviews. I didn't do it this afternoon. There were just too many videos for you to watch, and I haven't slept for 2 days, so I'm absolutely exhausted, and I want to do it tomorrow. So I'm going to have early night tonight, straight after this call. So tomorrow, if you are a member, we can do 2 earnings in the morning and 2 earnings in the evening. All right? The choices are yours. Tomorrow morning, right, on the main channel, we can do 1. On the extra channel, we can do 1. There's PayPal, Spotify, Pfizer, Ferrari, PEP, MRK, Estee Lauder, Adam, UBS, KKR, EPD, CMI, TGD, Marathon, APO, REGN, Actor, Centene, Hubble, Aramark, MPLX, WEC, IESC, Amatec, Fox, Slab, MUFG, IT, Jacobs, Ball, Amcor, ATI, MSGS, FLNG, XYL, Fox A, PNR, CNH, Ingridon, Energizer, INMB, WTW, GPK, Axter, Berry, H-Line, Lank, PJT, Ping, CTS, OCSL, MLAB, and AUDC. That is before the opening bell. We can do 2 of those. You can choose. It's the first person to do a super chat, and we will cover it for you. I've just been told that Pfizer has been booked through a super thanks. Pfizer has been booked tomorrow morning already. So Pfizer is booked. And after hours, AMD has just been booked. I've got some super thanks coming in. And Google. So tomorrow after hours is fully booked already. Bloody hell, that was quick. That was quick. So we got 1 more we can do in the morning. So there's no point looking in the afternoon. Any of those that appeal to you, first come, first serve. It's whoever gets in first. But wow, that's all done. Wow, that's amazing. So there you go. It's already fully booked. So let's move on. We've got 29 minutes to go before the call begins. And let me double check a few things here. So I'm going to see what I need to do here. Let me have a look. So we've got, right, we don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. And we don't need that. Okay, cool. So how long have I got? I've got 22 minutes. So Palantir we did. Now, here we go. So, okay, this is for tomorrow. So here we go. We've got Palantir coming up in a minute. But first of all, I'm going to make PF, Pfizer, AMD, and Goog. Okay, let's do this now. Let's do this now before the call begins. Nice and timely. 20 minutes. Okay, here we go. These are our events for tomorrow. So we're going to do Pfizer, PF. There we go. Pfizer, ticker symbol PFE, tomorrow morning, which is February the 4th. We are covering the earnings. One of our members requested this. If you are a member of our channel and do a $5 super chat, I'll get up early tomorrow morning or in the evening. We can do 4 a day, 4 earnings a day. I'll cover the earnings, do a review like this and a promotional video like this, and it will rank number 1 on YouTube and even possibly Google as well to promote the stock you're talking about or interested in, and we'll cover the earnings for you. So Pfizer in the morning, which is February the 4th. Join us early before the main call. Click above my head for all the links down below in the description. I'll also post it in the comments. Over here, I'll put the playlist for Pfizer, and down here I'll put the event itself so you can tune in for the Pfizer earnings. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other. All right, if you just tuned in, we are about to start the Palantir earnings, but before we do that, we're making 3 very quick commercials for our events tomorrow. Okay, here we go. AMD, ticker symbol AMD. We're covering the earnings tomorrow, after hours, February the 4th, after hours. If you are a member of our channel, you can do a $5 super chat and I will do an earnings for you, plus the analysis and the live earnings, plus this promotional video. And we're going to cover this after hours tomorrow night. Of course, AMD and all major companies now in the spotlight with tariffs flying around everywhere. We want to see all these companies do well, and we're in for a boom because, of course, we've already seen the Trump roll back the Mexican tariffs, and maybe any moment now we'll hear from Justin Trudeau from Canada and find out the same. We're hoping, and you'll see the market go up after hours, which it is doing now. Maybe it's already out. I'm making this video. I can't check, but we'll look in a minute. Join me after hours tomorrow night for AMD earnings. You can't afford to miss it. This will be on the extra channel, not the main channel, the extra channel, as we do 2 earnings at the same time. On the main channel, I'll be doing Google. So click above my head for all the links down below in the description. I'll also pin it to the comments. Over here, I shall put the AMD earnings, which will happen on the extra channel. And down here, I'll put the Google earnings, which will happen on the main channel where you're watching this video right now. 2 earnings at the same time. It's going to be great. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other. Okay, Palantir earnings coming up in a minute. Stand by. Google, just getting this last one done. Google earnings, ticker symbol GOOG, one of my favorites. Why? It's my employer. They own YouTube. YouTube owns me. So one way or another, I'm owned by Google, which is kind of cool because I own them as well. Interesting that, through the S&P at least anyway. So Google, we know they'll be talking big time about YouTube tomorrow night because YouTube, I can tell you, the ad revenue's going up. People are paying more to advertise. How do I know that? Because my CPM's up, cost per thousand. I'm earning more money because companies are paying more money. So that gives a good indication of how the markets are going to go, how the businesses are going to go, and how Google earnings are going to go. Just saying, a little bit of an inside tip there from you. Well, I might as well share it. I'm on Google. I'm on YouTube, right? Everyone realizes that. Anyway, that's tomorrow night after hours. Google, February the 4th, after hours. On the main channel. On the extra channel, I'll be covering AMD at the same time. And that'll be happening on the extra channel. So you might want to watch them both or watch the extra channel for AMD. The choice is yours. Click above my head for all the links down below in the description. Pin to the comments. And over here, You can have, oh, hang on.
Midnight Bob donated $5 through a super chat. Race earnings tomorrow.
Looks like we've got another earnings to do. That's 4 earnings a day now. Over here, I shall put the Google earnings and down, which is on the main channel, and down here, AMD, which is on the extra channel. That's it from me. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other. All right. Now, race Ferrari. Let me check. Was that in the morning? It was. Flipping heck. I cannot believe it. Race. Okay, race. That's pre-market as well. We are now fully booked tomorrow now. We are fully booked. Double earnings everywhere. Please, no more requests for earnings tomorrow. These are always selling out. This is absolutely nuts. All right, so Bob, I confirm. If you've just tuned in, we've got 20 minutes to go before the earnings of Palantir. So please stand by. I'm just giving you the confirmation there. Bob, you'll get what you've asked for and what you've super chatting for. RACE. Race. Ferrari, ticker symbol RACE. We're going to cover this tomorrow. This is going to be our earnings call pre-market February the 4th on the extra channel. On the main channel, we'll be doing Pfizer. On the extra channel, we'll be doing Race Ferrari. So join us for that. It's bound to be exciting. It's going to zip through and we're going to race through it at a rate of knots. Bound to be exciting, bound to be exhilarating with our foot to the floor. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist it. Ferrari. I've driven a Ferrari once. Never owned one, but I've driven one. Nearly bought one. Decided to go for a BMW Z4 3-litre Sport instead. It was a bit cheaper. Well, it wasn't actually. It was the same price, but the BMW was better to maintain. The Ferrari was about $1,000 a month. I just thought, sod that. Anyway, click above my head for all the links down below in the description and pinned in the comments as well. Over here, I shall put Pfizer, which we'll be doing on the main channel where you're watching this video right now. But on the extra channel down here, I'll be doing at the same time Ferrari, race. Wow. Tomorrow, 4 earnings. Plus opening bell, closing bell, and at least 1 review. Amazing. What a day tomorrow's going to be. I'm going to get an early night tonight. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other. Okay, that's that done. Now we can get back to Palantir. Market's going up. There it is. There it is. I bet you that's now. We might have some news from Trump. Let me have a look. Oh, hang on a minute. What was that? Breaking news. Trump, here we go.
From the Canadian Prime Minister. He said, I just had a good call with President Trump. Canada is implementing our $1.3 billion border plan, reinforcing the border with new choppers, technology and personnel, enhanced coordination with our American partners,
Mike 166
and increased resources to stop
through
the
a
flow
super chat.
of fentanyl.
Best show
Nearly
on planet
10,000
Earth.
frontline personnel are and will be working on protecting the border. Mr. Trudeau goes on to say, in addition, Canada is making new commitments to appoint a fentanyl czar, and we will list cartels as terrorists, ensure 24/7 eyes on the border, launch a Canada-US Joint Strike Force to combat organised crime, fentanyl and money laundering. I've also signed a new intelligence directive on organised
Savage
crime
Faith
and fentanyl
Creations
and will be
donated
backing it
$5
with
through a super
$200 million.
chat. Earning
The
request
proposed
for
tariffs
tomorrow.
will be
Just
paused
kidding.
for at
Made
least
myself
30
laugh
days
anyway.
while we work
Can you do it,
together.
Go?
So
Broadcom.
quite a
In
similar
March?
approach to the Mexicans. The Mexican president earlier in a phone call with President Trump has asked for a pause of 30 days. And it seems that Justin Trudeau has done the same thing and at the same time has issued this statement to say that they are going to implement their $1.3 billion border plan, which includes choppers, technology, personnel, as well as 10,000 frontline personnel, which is exactly what Mexico has also proposed, 10,000 frontline personnel that Donald Trump confirmed in a press conference earlier. So we're seeing this really fast-paced situation developing quite quickly after Donald Trump threatened both Canada and Mexico with 25% tariffs, which were supposed to come into effect tomorrow, just in the next few hours. But both Canada and Mexico now say those proposed tariffs will be paused for at least 30 days whilst both countries work alongside the United States to come up with a longer-term solution.
Wow, look at that.
This is the
Trump
world with
wins.
me,
Let me
Yael
just
Hakim.
pause that there. So Trump wins again. It does appear that Donald Trump has won his negotiating tactics. He's won with Mexico. He's now won with Canada. Trump wins. Trump won. Mexico and Canada nil, as we'd say on a football score in England. Can you believe it? What a day this has been. As Tom Leeds say today, buy the dip, most certainly. There's no need for me to buy it, though. I was already in. But nevertheless, what a turnaround this is. This is going to be good for the markets. When this gets digested, expect to be up after hours, just like Palantir. Wow, what a day. Click above my head for all the links down below in the description. Over here and over here, more information. Over here, I'll put the moment I brought you the news about the Mexico deal and now the Canada deal. Amazing. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other. All right. Race. Trump wins. What time was that? I need to put that out as well. Bloody hell. I just can't keep up with Trump. I cannot keep up with Trump at all. It's like the amount of news that's coming out is ridiculous. I got like 300 videos a day. All right, okay, let's have a look at this. Let's go year to date, 1 year. Donald Trump wins again. This morning he beat Mexico. Now he's negotiated and he's won again, this time with Canada. The news just broke a few seconds ago. The market's up again. Wow, what a day. I can't keep up with Trump. I thought I worked hard. This is insane. I just can't keep up with the super chats either.
Saab Shergel donated $1.99 through a super chat. Love it.
Love it. Love it. I have to say, congratulations. What a day it's been. And I make no apologies for giving you the full story. We lived this out live. Some people say I get very emotional and dramatic about the stories because they happen fluid. I report everything live. I bring it to you. We're up, we're down. I explain the ins and the outs. And yes, this morning I was saying, you know, if America go on like this, they're going to make enemies around the world. Well, that was obviously the tactic of Trump, and they don't want that. So now they've come back to the table. So there you go. It's all proven right. So now we need to go on with that news. And now on with that announcement. Whoosh, on with the video. Whoosh. I'll try that again. I'll try it again. Whoosh. Okay, that'll all make sense when I edit that down. All right, there we go. Palantir. What a day. What a day. Don't be surprised if we turn green in a few moments. Okay, we've got 15 minutes before Palantir earnings call, so stand by. Earnings request for tomorrow. Just kidding. Made myself laugh anyway. Can you do Avgo Broadcom in March? Avgo Broadcom in March. Well, which one do you want? Broadcom or Avgo? Aren't they different? Are they different? Am I wrong there? Avgo. Oops. Avgo. Oh, the same. Yes. Avgo Broadcom. I beg your pardon. It's the same thing. Yes, I can. You want March the 6th. February. Yes, Avgo. Avgo Broadcom. March 6th. Stacey Bailey, I confirm I can do your earnings for you. Absolutely right. Okay, that is confirmed. Stand by for Palantir. USA just turned the river card. Just turned the river card. Can we have a Jack Daniels now? Right. I refreshed it. It's okay. Hey, Kazansky. Andrew, mine was bad earlier, but it is good now. Andrew Michael, so it's earlier, but stream is good now. The classic Me Too. Yes. Everyone transmission breaking up here. I had doubt I had no doubt. Well, okay, that's fine. Classic Karp. In fact, you're a good example of what I was just saying earlier. My job, and I believe I do it right, my job is to put everything on the table and discuss every element. It gets heated, it gets up, it gets down, and we work our way through it. If we understand the markets, we are better equipped to make decisions. Okay? I believe in discussion, debate, always talking, always debating, always keeping up with it. It's all very well for you, and I understand. I had no doubt, you say. I also said, if you remember, I don't think or expect America to go bankrupt, but it can go bankrupt. Every country can go bankrupt, including the United States, if it alienates and makes enemies of the whole world. It absolutely can, with the debt position it has. There's no question about that. So the fact of the matter is, it was good to discuss that and share all that information. That way, we can make educated decisions. It's already well saying, I had no doubt that was never going to happen, and I appreciate that. Most people would agree. We didn't think it was going to happen, but we don't just want to say, it can't happen, so we're all good. No, we want to consider all the outcomes. And at the end of the day, that is why the market went down. That's why the market went down upon those principles. That's exactly the point. So that's why we are talking and debating and discussing those points. If we're simply missing those bits out, we're just kind of selling videos and I'm wasting my time. We have to react to what's going on. Let me tell you, folks. Do you think I wanted to wake up this morning and deal with all this nonsense? I've been up for 2 nights. I haven't slept for 2 nights. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I'm doing 4 earnings a day. Tomorrow, back on it again. I've got reviews coming out my ear holes. I got people shouting and screaming at me coming on, like that Bob guy earlier. Get out of the country. Go back, you immigrant. You heard it. I'm dealing with all this, and let's remember, you know why? It's because I'm challenging everything and I'm discussing everything. That's what this channel is all about. It's very, very easy just to go, well, that can't happen. Stocks go up forever. We all make money and everything's great. Well, what a waste of time that would be, and I would be what's commonly called in the wild as a YouTuber, and that's not what I am. It's not what I want to do. Let's go. Can we have a Jack Daniels now? It appears so. I love it. I would love to put Trump above Maggie Thatcher as the greatest ever at this rate. I have to say, this is a very, very good day for the United States. Absolutely. I'm going to be the first to say it was a bad day this morning, and I'm going to be the first to say it was a good day at the end of the day. But to ignore it and say nothing and do nothing would have been the wrong approach. We got 10 minutes to go before the earnings. I've been riding behind the sofa. Yep, so far so good. Glad to be anywhere. Please, any comment on Sovereign Wealth Fund? Thank you. William, I've never heard of the stock. I'm terribly sorry. I've never heard of it. I can review it for you, of course. I'm still not taking my foil hat off yet, though. Stacey, just like Better Call. Listen, guys, there is no way Canada and Mexico are going to fail now. I don't believe for a moment Trump wants to be a dictator. For a moment, he's not going to just enforce it again. They've been given their marching orders. They're going to get it put right, and I'm absolutely convinced they'll get it put right. There's no doubt in my mind, 1 month from now, we will not be back where we are. I think that was a buying opportunity if you wasn't in the market. For me, it wasn't, obviously. It wouldn't have made sense. But for many, it was. Just entering the market, it most certainly was. But I don't think there's any way at all Canada and Mexico are going to fail. They are very clear, very, very clear that Trump means what he says, and there's no way they're going to let that fail. I'm absolutely sure of that because they can do those things if they want to. Anyway, there you go. Stacey, I might make a hat, foil hat. Every country is heavily indebted to each other. That is true. Mike, I gave you a like and a subscribe. Why? Thank you. Smash the like button. Hope he gets to Starmer. He'll be in Buckingham Palace in a week. It's crazy. I can't keep up with him. I thought I worked hard. I can't keep up with Trump. This is bonkers. Anyway, we got 8 minutes to go before Palantir earnings. Tune in. We need some more likes, folks. We need some more likes. I want 100 likes in 1 minute. Shall we do it? Sod it. Let's do it. Here we go. Mike says, I had a private phone call with Mike today, and I told Mike not to give me any more super chats for a specific reason, and he went and gave me a super chat. So there you go, Mike. Thank you for that. You know what I told you to do, right? And also I said to Mike as well, Sensei, I need to call you at the end of the earnings call. Can you call me at the end of the earnings call? Really, really important. Sensei, can you call me at the end of the earnings call? Right, we got 226 watching. We need 100 likes. Let's stop messing around. 100 likes. Mike also said, can we have less politics and get back to the fun? We're getting back to the fun, all right? We're getting back to the fun right now. Mike, here it is. I can't get it on camera. I can't get it. I can't. There you go. One hairy knee. There you go, Mike. I pulled my trousers up because I'm too bloody hot. So there you go. We're getting back to the fun. No more messing around. But we have to go through the crap. We have to go through the pain to come out the other side. We have to deal with everybody. It's what we have to do, all right? It's what we have to do, Mike. But now we have some fun. Right, tap the like button. Let's get out of it. 100 likes, we did it. That'll do for me, donkey. That'll do. All right, very, very good. Okay, Palantir earnings, 6 minutes to go. James, you better make a cup of tea. Foil that too. I'd rather tickle the like button. I didn't sleep last night either, I have to admit. There you go, sub. I've been up for 2 nights now covering all of this. Play some piano for all of us, for good luck. Why? Can't do it right now, but later perhaps. I missed the earnings show. I would have walked, whacked the trolls if I was there. Need to have more faith, trust the process. I have faith, classic Carnut, but there's no point me not having the conversation and the debate and the argument. Otherwise, this is a pointless show. This becomes a YouTube show, and all I'm doing is trying to sell videos for nonsense. No. We deal with every situation. We take everybody on. We deal with all the trolls. We come through it and we win. That's what we do. Very much like Trump, by the way. Very much like Trump. Trump created a stir. He came out on top. I created a stir. I came out on top. We don't just walk away and go, well, let's all just be nice. That doesn't work. 90,000 down yesterday. How are you to do in Saab today? The president has announced a USA Sovereign Wealth Fund. Yes, I heard that earlier. What do you think we should do tomorrow? Let's rock the world again. America first. Trump signs order to create Sovereign Wealth Fund. That's to do, I believe, with crypto. That's exploding as well. There we go. Crypto is exploding, going straight back up again. Bloody hell, if you bought that dip today, you've made some money. My God, you have. Anyway, I can't believe Martyn knew what XRP was going to do this morning at 2 a.m. That was brilliant. Thank you, Martyn, for your insight. You are very, very welcome. Let me tell you how I know what was going to happen at 2 a.m. this morning. It's very, very important for you to understand this. Sensei does charts. He reads the charts and he can see the resistance, the levels, and all the rest of it. Very, very useful, but not on its own. You've got to use all this information. I have so many friends now, so many contacts now with Wall Street managers, CEOs, CFOs I talk to every day on Instagram and X. So you put all those together with the fundamentals, with all the data and I have on you, the audience, and how you react. And that's how I knew, that's all I'm going to say, why it would move at 2 a.m. We didn't just get it right, we got it right to the moment as well. Just want to make that point. Let's go. More cowbell. Thought Trump fired the least amount of post-war missiles on his last watch. Obama, a guy in a Nobel Peace Prize of it, Tommy Tinkler. I didn't quite read that properly. I'm sorry. We got 3 minutes to go before the earnings call. I just scribed Mr. Smarty Pants. There you go. Smash the like button. Come on, Donald. Make the UK the 51st state. We're a mess. Who would join the I might as well say yes because I live in America anyway. Okay, America can join, England can join the United States. I might as well. I'm living in America. It wouldn't change anything for me. In fact, it would save me money because then I just have one passport. I can start messing around. Good God, Martyn, making great money after hours now. I'm sure Trump has plans for Starmer. Take me to the river. Take me to the river. Thank you, Mohammed. Can a retail investor trade after hours? Yes, I trade 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. No, sorry, going to bed now. Send messages. I'll read in the morning. Okay, Sensei. All right. Can I send you a message on text right now? Can I send you a message on text? How long have I got? 3 minutes. Okay. Sensei, can you check this, please, on your text? Sensei, can you do this now? We've got 2 minutes to go. Stand by. So just confirm to me you're doing that. I've got 1 minute to go. All right, Sensei, I've sent you a text. Just confirm you've got that and you can take immediate action on that. That would be great. Okay, Palantir. We got 1 minute to go. Earnings call. Here we go. Earnings call will be on time. They always are. Palantir earnings, stand by. Expect Palantir earnings to be live in 8 seconds. They are always very, very accurate on this. Okay, so stand by. They're the only company who are so on time and organized. It's unbelievable how good they actually are. So I expect them to be live any second now. They've never been more than a second or two late. So there we go.
Good afternoon. I'm Anna Saro from Palantir's finance team, and I'd like to welcome you to our fourth quarter 2024 earnings call. We'll be discussing the results announced in our press release issued after the market close and posted on our investor relations website. During the call, we will make statements regarding our business that may be considered forward-looking within applicable securities laws, including statements regarding our first quarter and fiscal 2025 results, management's expectations for our future financial and operational performance, and other statements regarding our plans, prospects, and expectations. These statements are not promises or guarantees and are subject to risks and uncertainties, which could cause them to differ materially from actual results. Information concerning those risks is available in our earnings press release distributed after the market closed today and in our SEC filings. We undertake no obligation to update forward-looking statements except as required by law. Further, during the course of today's call, we will refer to certain adjusted financial measures.
Saab Shergill donated
These non-GAAP financial measures should be
$1.99
considered in
through a
addition
super
to,
chat.
not as a substitute
$10
for or in isolation
PLTR.
from GAAP measures. Additional information about these non-GAAP measures, including reconciliation of non-GAAP to comparable GAAP measures, is included in our press release and investor presentation provided today. Our press release, investor presentation, and other earnings materials are available on our investor relations website at investors.palantir.com. Over the course of the call, we will refer to various growth rates when discussing our business. These rates reflect year-over-year comparisons unless otherwise stated. Joining me on today's call are Alex Karp, Chief Executive Officer, Shyam Sankar, Chief Technology Officer, Dave Glazer, Chief Financial Officer, and Ryan Taylor, Chief Revenue Officer and Chief Legal Officer. I'll now turn it over to Ryan to start the call.
2024 was nothing short of incredible for Palantir. Our momentum accelerated through year-end, closing out 2024 with exceptional Q4 results, including an extraordinary top-line beat and outperformance led by our U.S. business. Revenue grew 14% sequentially and 36% year-over-year in Q4, and 29% year-over-year for the full year. The AI revolution continues, transforming industries and redefining how organizations operate. AI is a pivotal component in driving innovation and efficiency, something companies need to embrace or fall behind. With the proliferation of AI models, the raw AI labor supply is exploding. While everyone else is focused on the model supply side, we're transforming AI into a measurable stream of high-value finished goods and services. The result? The rapid emergence of quantified exceptionalism for organizations able to unlock the potential of these commoditized models through AIP. A byproduct of our incredible progress, our Rule of 40 score increased to 81 in the fourth quarter. It's a substantial leap to deploy LLMs into production with real impact. Most organizations are currently stuck on the wrong side of the widening chasm, working on their 2, 5, and 10-year plans, which become obsolete days later, failing to ever take action. But not Palantir or our quickly growing customer base. We've taken our position through our decades-long investment in developing the ontology, which allows organizations to seamlessly weave LLMs into their enterprise, unlocking their highest potential leverage. In this AI revolution, anyone looking for a solution that actually works is going to choose Palantir. Last quarter alone, we closed $1.8 billion of TCV across our business, which represents a 56% increase year over year. We closed a record-setting number of deals in Q4, including 32 deals worth $10 million or more. Our U.S. business is at the forefront of the AI revolution, growing 52% year over year in Q4. Last quarter, U.S. commercial revenue grew 64% year over year and 20% sequentially. AIP continues to fuel new customer acquisition, as we have nearly 5 times the number of U.S. commercial customers as we did 3 years ago, and significant expansion opportunities at existing customers. Organizations who have crossed the chasm with Palantir are driving real impact quickly. In this AI revolution, the biggest risk is not moving fast enough, and organizations are looking to us. With Palantir, as soon as work begins, we're delivering real, quantified exceptionalism for our customers. In my conversations, they're excitedly asking how we can replicate this success across their organizations. One of America's largest pharmacies has been a customer since early 2024 and signed a $67 million TCV engagement with us right after the pilot for workflows including automatically load balancing prescription fulfillment and orchestrating patient outreach. An American telecom company became a customer approximately 2 years ago and recently signed a $40 million TCV expansion deal to help manage and accelerate their decommissioning of old network technologies and equipment in order to achieve significant cost savings. Last earnings call, we mentioned the leading global insurance organization that deployed AIP to help automate underwriting workflows, reducing a 2-week process to 3 hours. That organization signed a nearly $11 million ACV expansion deal in Q4. Panasonic Energy North America is seeing the effects of its AIP expansion as they've created a maintenance assistant to help 350 technicians in making 5.5 million batteries per day, resulting in reduced machine downtime, greater throughput, and rapid onboarding of new technicians. In Q4, we also announced the customers in the inaugural Warp Speed cohort, which are using Palantir's Warp Speed to gain an advantage in aspects of their manufacturing operating system, including automated visual quality inspections and dynamic production scheduling. Anduril CIO Tom Bosco noted, quote, "By using the software, we've seen up to 200x efficiency gain in our ability to anticipate and respond to supply shortages." Our U.S. government business, the foundation on which Palantir was built, is exceedingly strong, with revenue growing 45% year over year last quarter. We take pride in supporting the critical missions we're delivering against. Notable deals included the U.S. Army extending its longstanding partnership with Palantir to deliver the Army Vantage capability in support of the Army Data Platform for up to 4 years. We also announced our recent contract expansion with U.S. Special Operations Command, marking the first deployment of Mission Manager to U.S. Special Operations Forces units. Our international commercial business continues to see pockets of growth alongside the large renewals of some of our long-standing customers. For example, Rio Tinto extended their partnership with Palantir for an additional 4 years, noting AIP is making their unstructured data accessible, allowing them to quickly attack problems previously deemed too complex. Using our software, network rail specialists coordinate 53 driverless trains, each with 240 wagons, ultimately improving throughput and safety. Our international government business also achieved strong growth. Revenue increased 26% sequentially last quarter, driven in large part by the UK, including our work with the NHS to roll out the Federated Data Platform as 87 acute NHS trusts and 28 integrated care boards have signed up to use it as of November 2024. We accelerated through the end of the year and we remain full throttle. We're at the dawn of this AI revolution, and in this winner-take-all AI economy, Palantir leads the way. I'll now turn it over to Shyam.
Thanks, Ryan. For the last 2 years, we've been saying that even while the LLMs are improving, the models across both open and closed source are becoming more similar, and performance will converge, all while the cost per token for inference continues to drop substantially. And that's because the market's been focused on AI supply, the models. With the release of DeepSeek R1, that has gone from a contrarian position to consensus. It's now blindingly obvious to everyone. Our foundational investments in ontology and infrastructure have positioned us to uniquely deliver on AI demand. From the beginning, AIP was built for this reality. Chat was always a dead end. Instead, we viewed LLMs as a new runtime for the AI labor. To capture the productive value of this AI labor, you need an intermediate representation of your enterprise that AI can actually interact with. How do you allocate inventory, onboard customers, process claims, call for prior authorization, and the like? That intermediary representation that makes all of that possible is ontology, and that's why it's been the secret to our meteoric rise. We are convinced the normative value for AI is enterprise autonomy, the self-driving company. Users go from performing the workflow to supervising an army of agents, teaching them how to handle edge cases and reducing dwell time. This is where we are maniacally focused with our customers. We've been working with a large multinational bank to automate core back office processes. What used to take 5 days now takes 3 minutes. Much more than the labor savings, this improvement eliminates historical constraints on the middle office and now enables the bank to create entirely new and differentiated financial products. We're working with a top engineering and construction firm to automate the identification of risks across tens of thousands of pages of technical documents, replacing months of arduous manual reviews with AI labor that can flag major risks to engineers in minutes. And we're working with a large power systems company to automate the understanding of technical diagrams to turn them into quotes into orders. And finally, we're working with an automotive supplier to analyze CAD files for component designs to have AI labor validate engineering standards and manufacturability checks. That is a 100-hour process for human engineers, now automated and serving up exceptions for human review. The before and after with AI is stark, and the speed of implementation is accelerating. You can divide companies up into 2 categories, the quick and the dead. Turning to warp speed, Palantir's modern American manufacturing operating system, it continues to move at warp 10. Our nation is in the beginning of a great reindustrialization as we compete with China to secure a free world and individual liberties. This is a competition we cannot afford to lose. We announced our first cohort of warp speed customers, including Anduril and L3 Harris. The response has been exceptional, and the pipeline is swelling. Warp speed integrates engineering, test, production, quality, and operations so that manufacturers can build better and build faster. Our FedStart offering hit a major milestone with the approval of our FedRAMP High environment for FedStart customers. This is radical acceleration, both in reduction of time and costs of market access for software companies in the federal space. Finally, in U.S. government, our deep investments in CJADC2 continue to deliver results. Maven continues to see significant adoption and is pathfinding new AI capabilities throughout the kill chain. Substantial new investments integrating contested logistics into Maven's AI-enabled kill chain met their moment in exercises in Q4. Adoption continues within the military departments, specifically Army, Air Force, and Space Force, as well as at the combatant commands with expansions at SpaceCom, Southcom, AFRICOM, and STRATCOM. While Hurricane Helene response galvanized the adoption of Maven on unclass beyond just the secret and top secret networks, the adoption has continued to grow as Maven is used for securing our nation's border and securing our nation's airspace by enabling drone domain awareness. And Maven is reaching our allies and partners via U.S.-supplied capabilities called Maven REL, all spurred by real-world events and the need to collaborate in real time in crisis. We are really just getting started with Maven and have an ambitious roadmap and a set of customer opportunities in front of us to deliver the unfair advantage our warfighters deserve. I'll turn it over to Dave to talk us through the numbers.
Thanks, Sean. We had an outstanding fourth quarter. Revenue growth accelerated to 36% year over year, exceeding the high end of our prior guidance by over 900 basis points and representing a 1,600 basis point increase compared to the growth rate in Q4 of last year. America continues to rapidly embrace the AI revolution, and we saw this unrelenting demand drive impressive outperformance in our U.S. business, which grew 52% year over year and 12% sequentially. Our U.S. commercial business grew 64% year over year and 20% sequentially, and our U.S. government business grew 45% year over year and 7% sequentially. On the back of this continued strength, we are guiding to a full year 2025 revenue midpoint of $3.749 billion, representing a 31% year over year growth rate. We delivered these outstanding top-line results while expanding adjusted operating margin to 45%, the strongest adjusted operating margin in the company's history. Our revenue and profitability drove a 13-point sequential increase to a Rule of 40 score from 68 in the third quarter to 81 in the fourth quarter. We also had an exceptional cash flow quarter with adjusted free cash flow of $517 million, representing a margin of 63%, and $1.25 billion in adjusted free cash flow for the full year, representing a margin of 44%. Turning to our global top-line results. Fourth quarter revenue grew 36% year over year and 14% sequentially to $828 million. Full year revenue grew 29% year over year to $2.87 billion. Full year U.S. revenue grew 38% year over year to $1.9 billion. Excluding the impact of revenue from strategic commercial contracts, fourth quarter revenue grew 39% year over year and 14% sequentially, and full year revenue grew 32% year over year. Customer count grew 43% year over year and 13% sequentially to 711 customers. Revenue from our largest customers continues to expand. Fourth quarter trailing 12-month revenue from our top 20 customers increased 18% year over year to $65 million per customer. Now moving to our commercial segment. Fourth quarter commercial revenue grew 31% year over year and 17% sequentially to $372 million. Full year commercial revenue grew 29% year over year to $1.3 billion. Excluding the impact from strategic commercial contracts, fourth quarter commercial revenue grew 37% year over year and 18% sequentially, and full year commercial revenue grew 36% year over year. We had our strongest quarter of commercial TCV booked at $995 million, representing 42% growth year over year and 63% growth sequentially. Our U.S. commercial business is seeing unprecedented demand, with AIP driving both new customer conversions and existing customer expansions in the U.S. Fourth quarter U.S. commercial revenue grew 64% year over year and 20% sequentially to $214 million. Full year U.S. commercial revenue grew 54% year over year to $702 million. Excluding revenue from strategic commercial contracts, fourth quarter U.S. commercial revenue grew 76% year over year and 19% sequentially, and full year U.S. commercial revenue grew 69% year over year. We also had our strongest quarter of U.S. commercial TCV booked at $803 million, representing growth of 134% year over year and 170% sequentially. This exceeded our next highest quarter of U.S. commercial TCV booked by nearly $400 million, highlighting the increased demand for AI production use cases. Total remaining deal value in our U.S. commercial business grew 99% year over year and 47% sequentially. Our U.S. commercial customer count grew to 382 customers, reflecting growth of 73% year over year and 19% sequentially. Fourth quarter international commercial revenue grew 3% year over year and 15% sequentially to $158 million, partially driven by revenue catch-up from a customer in Asia. Full-year international commercial revenue grew 9% year-over-year to $594 million. For international commercial business, we continue to capitalize on targeted growth opportunities in Asia, the Middle East, and beyond, but remain focused on accelerating our growth in the U.S. commercial business. Revenue from strategic commercial contracts was $9.6 million for the quarter. We anticipate first quarter 2025 revenue from these contracts to decline to between $4 to $6 million compared to $24 million in the first quarter of 2024. We anticipate 2025 revenue from these contracts to be approximately 0.5% of full-year revenue. Shifting to our government segment. Fourth quarter government revenue grew 40% year-over-year and 11% sequentially to $455 million. Full-year government revenue grew 28% year-over-year to $1.57 billion. Fourth quarter U.S. government revenue grew 45% year-over-year and 7% sequentially to $343 million. Full-year U.S. government revenue grew 30% year-over-year to $1.2 billion. This acceleration was driven by continued execution in existing programs and new awards reflecting the growing demand for AI in our government software offerings. Fourth quarter international government revenue grew 28% year-over-year and 26% sequentially to $112 million, bolstered by our continued work in UK healthcare and defense. Full-year international government revenue grew 23% year-over-year to $372 million. Fourth quarter TCV book was $1.79 billion, up 56% year-over-year and 63% sequentially. Net dollar retention was 120%, an increase of 200 basis points from last quarter. The increase was driven both by expansions at existing customers and new customers acquired in Q4 of last year as we see the effect of the AI revolution. As net dollar retention does not include revenue from new customers that were acquired in the past 12 months, it does not yet fully capture the acceleration and velocity in our U.S. business over the past year. We ended the fourth quarter with $5.43 billion in total remaining deal value, an increase of 40% year-over-year and 20% sequentially, and $1.73 billion in remaining performance obligations, an increase of 39% year-over-year and 10% sequentially. As a reminder, RPO is primarily comprised of our commercial business, as it does not take into account contracts with an initial term of less than 12 months and contractual obligations that fall beyond termination for convenience clauses, both of which are common in most of our government business. Turning to margin and expense. Adjusted gross margin, which excludes stock-based compensation expense, was 83% for the quarter and the full year. Adjusted income from operations, which excludes stock-based compensation expense and related employer payroll taxes, was $373 million, representing adjusted operating margin of 45%. Full-year adjusted income from operations was $1.13 billion, representing margin of 39%. Q4 adjusted expense was $455 million, up 1% sequentially and 14% year-over-year, and full-year adjusted expense was $1.74 billion, up 9% year-over-year, primarily driven by our continued investment in AIP and technical talent. We expect to see a more significant increase in expense in 2025 as we invest in technical hires, the product pipeline, and continue our focus on AI production use cases, all while delivering our goals of sustained GAAP profitability. On the back of the strength of our results, we want to congratulate our employees for the successful delivery of their market vesting stock appreciation rights, or SARs. As a result of this achievement, we accelerated $131 million of one-time expense in the fourth quarter related to these equity awards. Fourth quarter stock-based compensation expense was $282 million, and employer-related equity tax expense was $80 million. Full-year stock-based compensation expense was $692 million, and employer-related equity tax expense was $126 million. Fourth quarter GAAP operating income was $11 million, representing a margin of 1%. Fourth quarter operating income, when excluding one-time SAR-related expenses, was $142 million, representing a 17% margin. Full-year GAAP operating income was $310 million, representing an 11% margin. Full-year operating income, when excluding one-time SAR-related expenses, was $442 million, representing a 15% margin. Fourth quarter GAAP net income was $79 million, representing a 10% margin. Fourth quarter net income, when excluding one-time SAR-related expenses, was $165 million, representing a 20% margin. Full-year GAAP net income was $462 million, representing a 16% margin. Fourth quarter GAAP earnings per share was 3 cents, and earnings per share when excluding one-time SAR-related expenses was 7 cents. Full year GAAP earnings per share was 19 cents. Fourth quarter adjusted earnings per share was 14 cents. Full year adjusted earnings per share was 41 cents. Additionally, our combined revenue growth and adjusted operating margin accelerated to 81% in the fourth quarter, a 13-point increase to our Rule of 40 score from the prior quarter. Turning to our cash flow. In the fourth quarter, we generated $460 million in cash from operations and $517 million in adjusted free cash flow, representing margins of 56% and 63% respectively. For the full year, we generated $1.15 billion in cash from operations and $1.25 billion in adjusted free cash flow, representing margins of 40% and 44% respectively. Through the end of the fourth quarter, we repurchased approximately 2.1 million shares as part of our share repurchase program. As of the end of the quarter, we have $936 million remaining of the original authorization. We ended the quarter with $5.2 billion in cash, cash equivalents, and short-term U.S. Treasury securities. Now, turning to our outlook. For Q1 2025, we expect revenue of between $858 and $862 million, and adjusted income from operations of between $354 and $358 million. For full year 2025, we expect revenue of between $3.741 and $3.757 billion, U.S. commercial revenue in excess of $1.079 billion, representing a growth rate of at least 54%, adjusted income from operations of between $1.551 and $1.567 billion, adjusted free cash flow of between $1.5 and U.S. commercial revenue, billion, and GAAP operating income and net income in each quarter of this year. With that, I'll turn it over to Alex for a few remarks, and then Anna will kick off the Q&A.
Welcome to our Palantir Revolution, otherwise known as our earnings call. There really is a lot of debate about with these numbers if you even should have an earnings call. There was also a lot of debate around which number is the best internally. We were undecided whether our 29% growth in aggregate, our 38% growth in the U.S., our 54% growth in U.S. commercial, our rule of 81. They may have to redo the rule because, when you're doing twice the rule, of course, maybe the rule isn't fair to other companies. We may have to have a different rule, the rule of 70 or something. But we blew through that over twice the rule of 40. To say we did it our way is a minimization of what that meant. We have taken a long bet over decades around the assumption that if we built the products that our partners, most importantly our partners in the West, most importantly our partners in the U.S., ought to build, not what they wanted us to build, not what they mandated we should build, not what investors, venture capitalists or analysts were saying they would reward us for building, that company would generate so much value that we would get a small percentage of that and we would end up as a massive, significant, and much more importantly, impactful company that could power the West to its obvious innate superiority, expose things that weren't working, rebuild the whole infrastructure of a company. We did that with many platforms. Most successfully, however, was our interest in figuring out how to power human-driven analytics with the assumption that what ought to come would not be human-driven, i.e. would be AI at some point, and that AI potentially could be something like a large language model. And what we've delivered to the market is a symbiotic relationship between data, computer, LLMs, organized, powered, made possible, made valuable by something we dared to call an ontology, which was in the beginning viewed as a highly obnoxious, anticlimactic term that people thought we were using to obfuscate bad financials. And that ontology and our willingness to stick to our guns, again, because there's been billions and billions and billions of dollars invested in large language models, the idea that you could dare to build a product that was built on the assumption that the power of large language models would be in their the ability to operationalize them in the context of the enterprise in common language. So that That was a revolution that we saw, that we built against, that we've led, that we've gotten off the ground. For us in America, we have 54% growth in U.S. comm. By the way, USG is now re-accelerated. It grew 30%. We are guiding above 30% at 31%. And we're doing this in a very, very complicated environment. You know, the part of the reason we've done so well is the experts look to the past as an indication of the future when we're looking to the future as an indication of the present. And it's very, very hard to figure out what's going to happen. We see, as much as I personally care about the broader West, including continental Europe, despite our best efforts and working at it every day, it's anemic. We're growing around 4% on 13% of our company. It does look like the continent of Europe will look to the past as a way of getting to the future, struggles with the idea that all the valuable technology in this area is built in America, perhaps struggles with the fact that to make LLMs work, you have to find a way to build something like an ontology. There's one available at Palantir. We have rejected all the way through anti-meritocratic concepts, anti-transparent concepts. We're at the forefront of civil liberties. One of the reasons ontology is so valuable is because the concepts that we built into PG, that we built into Foundry, that are expressed in branching, are concepts that both accelerate revenue, get and decelerate, control CapEx, i.e. make the margins something like what you would find at Palantir, but do it in a way that actually make the enterprise better, healthier, more ethical. We, at the end of the day, at Palantir, are exporting our culture and way of doing things to enterprises, especially in America, by allowing enterprises to capture their tribal knowledge in a way that they can utilize LLMs, i.e. take the commodity side of LLMs and hypercharge or specialize their secrets of their enterprise using the secrets of our enterprise, namely, how do you build product, how do you end up with ontology, how do you implement it? And last not least, we believe we are making America more lethal, making our adversaries increasingly afraid of acting against the interests of America and especially Americans. And we're proud of our moral stance, and we are very long on the U.S. and what's happening and what will happen in the future. And with that, we should open up our earnings call. But this is obviously a very, very special time to be at Palantir. Palantirians and are very excited. And I am, it's by far the best time to be at Palantir. One of the things that's crazy important about our time at Palantir now is it's actually the vibe internally, the vibe with our clients, the vibe inside of our products is we are at the way beginning of our trajectory. We are at the way beginning of revolution, and we plan to be a cornerstone, if not the cornerstone company in driving this revolution in the U.S. over the next 3 to 5 years.
Thanks, Alex. We'll now turn to a few questions from our shareholders before opening up the call. Our first question is from Christina, who asks, what is so unique about the ontology? How does it give you an edge over your competitors? And why wouldn't any of them be able to recreate something similar?
Well, thank you, Christina, for the question. I think we could start by thinking about if I was building software to solve problems for one company, well, you don't need an ontology. You just take the shortest path between A and B, and that doesn't involve ontology. You could think about, okay, what if I'm building enterprise software for many customers? In a traditional way, not a forward-deployed engineering way, where I'm thinking about it deductively. I have large, multi-year implementations. Never mind that those things never work, but the traditional software industrial complex, you're not even going to conceive of ontology. But if you have the ambition to build software that works across government, across 50 different industries, you have to build ontology. It is absolutely the longest path between point A and point B, but it gives you superpowers when you show up to your customers. And it gives your customers superpowers when they're managing the change in their enterprise, mergers and acquisitions, fighting the entropy of the universe, competing in the market. But what makes ontology essential is AI. Ontology ends up being the intermediary representation that makes your enterprise accessible to AI in a way that's governed and secure and provides you the observability that you need so that you can actually trust the AI. But more importantly, the observability your regulators need so they can trust in your transition to being a self-driving company.
Yeah, and it also allows you to manage them so that the actual taxonomy and ability to put the large language model where it can be more exact, so it can be managed at scale. You could think of it as what we do on the Foundry backend, where we have it create pipelines, is basically anti-segmenting the data. To get the AI to actually work in an enterprise, you have to resegment, reconcatenate the large language models in a way where the use case is thin enough that they can actually provide exact enough information, and the concatenation of that is exact enough to provide real results in an enterprise context, meaning you can rely on the large language model to do the same thing 500 people would be doing who are experts in dealing with text, and you can do that with 3 people. And then the question that Sham is answering is also, but why is it hard to build it? So now we know that Palantir is succeeding and has this, pick your stat, rule of 81, growth with basically a nascent sales force. It's actually very hard to build because in order to have an idea how to do this, you would have to have taken all the lessons of every single product we built, including security models, including how do you interact with the data of an actual enterprise, how do you impose branching, and then you'd have to interact with that and build something to work with the large language models, not as you thought they were, not as you'd liked them to be, but as they are. And that process probably will begin for lots of companies now. It is a very long and hard process to do this in a productized form. And one of the reasons people didn't figure this out is because tech companies don't actually need this because they have one company or they have something, but it is not a product. Taking this from one company to a company that can install this anywhere requires a very specialized, dedicated product building culture with deep understanding the enterprise. Last not least, in order to be able to teach the large language model to get more exact, precise information, you would have to have a secure and cleaned access to the underlying data of the enterprise. No other company in the world has that kind of access like Palantir, and that's why we're completely uniquely positioned to do this. And luckily for the world, we're very long America, and we're doing it primarily here because it's powerful as fuck.
Thank you both. Our next question is from Kamal, who asks, how will
Sorry
the new
about that,
Chinese AI
use of
model
language.
DeepSeek impact
That wasn't
Palantir?
necessary.
And how can Palantir mitigate its impact?
Well, I think one of the obvious lessons of DeepSeek R1 is something that we've been saying for the last 2 years, which is that the models are commoditizing. Yes, they're getting better across both closed and open, but they're also getting more similar, and the price of inference is dropping like a rock. But I think the real lesson, the more profound one, is that we are at war with China. We are in an AI arms race. And I got into a disagreement with Sam Altman about this at the Senate AI Summit over a year ago, where I was arguing that we are in an AI arms race, and there's an opposing view that we can all get along and we can cooperate on these things. And I'm sure the other side feels quite different, realizing that their IP has been stolen in this process here. But this war started long ago. It was an economic war with the ascension of China to the World Trade Organization, the greatest IP theft in history, the greatest wealth transfer in history. It is an opium war. The #1 cause of deaths of 18 to 45-year-olds in this country is fentanyl. That is coming from China. It is a diplomatic war. The Belt and Road Initiative is basically indentured servitude for other countries to the CCP here. And the unprecedented phase 0 gray zone operations of the CCP, how many times are we going to believe that anchors are dragged across the sea to cut undersea cables here? But I think one of the things, China knows they're at war. The question is, we kind of equivocate on it as a peace-loving nation. But one of the things I want to make sure we all do realize is that the engineering in R1 is exquisite. The optimizations that they've done are really impressive. And I don't think you can get away with the facile explanation that the Chinese just copy and we're the only innovators. We have to wake up with the respect for our adversary and realize that we are competing. But they absolutely did steal a lot of that through distillation of the models, and perhaps they stole even more. And then you can look at the GPU sales growth in Singapore. It's a tiny island nation. I'm pretty sure there's some sanctioned invasion going on there. And we have to realize that the AI race is winner take all, and it's going to be a whole of nation effort that extends well beyond the DoD in order for us as a nation to win. And that M-Day was yesterday. The time to mobilize has come.
Thank you, Sham. Our next question is from Dan with Wedbush. Dan, please turn on your camera, and then you'll receive a prompt to unmute your line.
Thank you. So, well, quarter. My question is,
By the way, Dan, we don't
talk
hear
about,
you.
are you surprised at all?
Can you repeat the question? We didn't hear you. Thank you.
Yeah, are you surprised at how quick
How bad is
these
this?
sales cycles are actually taking place from
This guy's
when a
walking
customer
around
first meets Palantir
his
to now
office
deploying
and bad Wi-Fi.
AI initiatives? I mean, is
That's
that
disrespectful
surprise
to
the
the call.
team at all?
I would say I'm not surprised because of the energy we feel on the ground in talking
was
to
terrible,
customers and the
walking
impact.
around all over the
Sham shared
place.
some examples, taking a back office
Very
process from
disrespectful
the largest banks
question.
from 5 days
Alex
to
is a
under
bit
3
pissed
minutes,
about that as
taking
well.
what used to automating a process for an automotive supplier from what used to take 100 hours to be automated with just a human check, and seeing the reactions of those customers when those are implemented, and seeing the impact, and seeing them wanting to move quickly, seeing them wanting to start quickly, expand quickly, and essentially stay ahead of their competitors. Like feeling that energy and feeling that reaction on the ground, I'm not surprised because you feel it. It's tangible.
What surprises me a lot is just, customers and especially countries are just reacting completely differently. So in broad swaths, American companies have approached this revolution in a very pragmatic way, which is, so we had all these, experts saying that what you ought to do is buy a large language model and install it on your enterprise. And customers are like, great, we'll try that. But we're also going to try Palantir. And there's really no ideology in aggregate in this country defining how people do things. It's about output. How quick is that output? And there's a lot of communication between enterprises in America, so especially in sectors. So people talk about what's working and what's not working. And if in distinction, if you look at Europe with 13% of our business and 4% growth rate last year. So compare that, it's like more than 10x better in America in US Comm, right? And what's really happening there is people are reading literally basically PowerPoints of how you did tech installations in the 50s. And that's what they're doing. And what is jarring to me is that, you just see radical adoption from some clients. Again, you do have some people in America who are still doing science projects, but it's, how could it be that one set of companies in one geography adopts, and in a very culturally similar geography, people are just like, okay, great, but that's not how we do it. And so and this, by the way, is not just, we talk a lot about U.S. commercial because we can't really talk in detail about what's happening on the battlefield. But the battlefield, and, Sham could talk about this basically forever, that this is basically, we enjoy it, it's equally divergent. It's like you have cultures that are like, we have to fight in a way that suits our culture, that suits our ethics, where we have a primacy of winning and a primacy of maintaining our values. And those cultures are rebuilding how they fight, rebuilding the things that they think are valuable, looking at the evidence of what worked, what didn't, what was the cost structure. And meanwhile, there's just a lot of people who are just like, yeah, but that could get in the way of vacation. And so it is really, really jarring. I think one of the things I am sympathetic with when investors look at Palantir is like, yeah, but it's very hard to know because people are going on different paths. But yeah, in America, in aggregate, the response is, I expected this to work in X amount of time. You got it to work and beat what I was expecting in 1/10, 1/20th, 1/50th of the time. And by the way, the other thing that is super surprising is, 2-3 years ago, when we were doing Foundry or even some of our kind of more sensitive things in the military, I believe we were delivering results that were, in 6 months would have taken 10 years, and they were things that people couldn't do. But now, because of the time and the power, you can't really hide it as easily in some department of your enterprise. So what would happen to us in the past is we would do a pilot, we'd do an enterprise thing, and because obviously people didn't appreciate my charm, and there were no steak dinners, and we weren't laughing at your jokes, and we were probably saying the wrong things at the wrong times, that thing got stuck in some part of the enterprise. Everyone knew it was the most important thing about the enterprise, but no one would acknowledge it. And now it's just too powerful. People are like, yeah, don't particularly like them. They don't after dinners. They don't wear suits. Sham's hard to understand for me. But the results are massive. And that's what's driving the results in the U. That's what's driving the 54 number that we did last year, and we're guiding to this year in U.S. commercial. That's what's driving the beat. That's what's driving our ability to really maintain our culture. By the way, it's also the rule of 81 really comes from this reaction to our company, but also because we can stick to our culture, our ontology of Palantir. We do not need 500 extra people a quarter. We can really power these things because the pull, when people actually see it, is enough to break down the institutional barriers, the political bullshit that often we were not able to break through in the past.
He's appealing to retail investors.
Our next question is from Mariana
like a
with
Pied
Bank of
Piper.
America.
Be careful of this.
Mariana, please turn on your camera, and then you'll receive a prompt
careful.
to unmute your line.
He's trying to make it
Good
rock
morning,
and roll
everyone.
and pump it up. This could drop like a
So
stone.
my first question is about disruption. Palantir has been actually thriving when there is disruption from the very beginnings of the company, 9/11, coronavirus, supply chains, LLMs. Now everyone is really concerned about DOGE with the change of administration. I could imagine a focus on efficiencies, a focus on software modernization, digitalization could actually be a really good opportunity for you. I don't know if you can deep dive on how is Palantir positioned to that. And my second question, probably to Dave, but I don't know, Shyam as well. When you see this demand, where do you invest to make sure that you're prepared to actually execute on it? Is it talent? Is it sales? Is it engineers? Is it partnerships? What do you do to make sure that you can actually capture this opportunity?
Thank you.
Well, on the first question here, I think no one really knows, but we sense a huge amount of fear amongst the traditional system integrators and providers here, the traditional providers to the monopsony. But we're pretty optimistic, and I think if you look at my comments over the past, even my recent Senate Armed Service testimony last week, Palantir's real competition is a lack of accountability in government. These forever software projects that cost an insane amount, that don't actually deliver results, they're sacred cows of the deep state. You can think about D6A. It cost billions of dollars and it didn't work. Soldiers in war zones preferred Palantir because it worked, and it happened to only cost millions of dollars. And I think DOGE is going to bring meritocracy and transparency to government, and that's exactly what our commercial business is. The commercial market is meritocratic and transparent, and you see the results that we have in that sort of environment, and that's the basis of our optimism around this. I think the work that we've done in government, it's deeply operational, it's deeply valuable, and we're pretty excited about exceptional engineers getting in there under the hood and being able to see that for a change.
We love disruption, and whatever's good for America will be good for Americans and very good for Palantir. And I think you got it exactly right. Disruption, in the end of the day, exposes things that aren't working. There'll be ups and downs. There's a revolution. Some people can get their heads cut off. It's like we're expecting to see really unexpected things and to win. Basically, that's what we're going to do. See unexpected things, report expected things, and win. And we're planning to do that, and we're pretty optimistic about the U.S. environment.
And on the investing front, it is quality engineering, right? It's quality engineers, and you can see it sort of how we set up our comp programs, and obviously that does mean headcount's going to grow somewhat, but really it is the quality engineers, more than the quantity, and you'll continue to see us, do that this year. We did it last year, particularly in the back half, and you're seeing it sort of in the numbers in Q1 and beyond.
Yeah, you also, by the way, for the first time, people want to partner with us. It used to be partnership meetings were complete waste of time and BS, largely so people could fill out a report that they met with us kind of thing, like high school dating for nerds. I met with them, perfect, I'm not going out with them. That was our experience with partnerships. Now, even the last couple of weeks, I've had real partnership discussions because a lot of these people own verticals, have to deliver, they're under a lot of pressure, and people know how good our products are. And last not least, what we're really investing in my view, is we have a truly unique culture. I visit with companies every week. I've been doing it for 20 years. I've never seen a company or a culture anything like ours. And that's what we have to fight to keep. And every single Palantirian is special. Everyone here is doing something unique. We need to continue to attract and retain people who are different, think differently, are different, and get them focused on the world's most important missions, building products the way we know how to build them. And that's our primary investment structure. And it's not actually a question of money, which, means that that's how we crush the margins. It's about talent and, just building really great things, the things you ought to build, not the things you're supposed to build, and getting them to the front line.
Thank you all. Alex, as always, we have a lot of individual investors on the line. Is there anything you'd like to say before we end the call?
We're doing it. We're doing it. And I'm sure you're enjoying this as much as I am. Let's not talk to analysts about the burden of being right, our burdens of investing in ontology, our burdens of actually looking at the math, the burden of reading what the Rule of 40 is, the burden of being honest about what an enterprise software company is, or the burden of explaining to your friends that you're really happy. Maybe we should just stop talking about it. I'm very happy to have you along for the journey, and you are partners for us. Every Palantirian, we are crushing it. Everyone else who's listening, we are dedicating our company. We have dedicated our company to the service of the West and the United States of America, and we're super proud of the role we play, especially in places we can't talk about. And we love our success in the U.S. and globally. Also, we are doing in the United Kingdom and many other places. Palantir is here to disrupt and make the institutions we partner with the very best in the world, and when it's necessary, to scare enemies and on occasion kill them. And we hope you're in favor of that. We hope you're enjoying being a partner, and we're really happy and very, very focused on what we're doing. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. That concludes Q&A for today's call.
Well, there you go. Now, there's a couple of comments we have to make before we end this stream. Of course, Palantir. Well, what can you say about that presentation? I did say to you, it's one of the best presented earnings calls you've ever seen. However, we do need to say this, because if we don't, we're not doing our job properly. Of course, there are a few YouTube channels who are just euphoric all the time. All the rest of it, there's no balance, there's no level. Let's just sell euphoria and let's get carried away and let's just get excited and all the rest of it. We need to be absolutely clear here. What Alex has done has been fantastic. There was no doubt about that when we were buying this at $9. However, if you buy this today, I'm going to give you an example. You're buying it 200 times earnings. In other words, a $1 can of Coke is going to cost you $200. It is 200 times earnings right now. Would you do that? Well, of course you wouldn't do that. This is massively overvalued. You've only got to look at the numbers, and you've only got to open your eyes and see how much selling is done by Alex and the team. He often gets called the Pied Piper. He knows how to fire up the retail investor, the gambler. I'm not saying it's not a good business. It is, but not at this price. You have to understand you're paying 200 plus now. They need 230 times earnings. Absolutely insane. No real investor is buying this at $102. Retail investors are doing that. The way he swears, the way he uses the F-bomb and the S-bomb, it's to fire everybody up, talking on camera at the end to the retail investor. It's very exciting, very entertaining, very easy to sell on YouTube. I get it. But as investors, be flipping careful. I'm not saying it's not right to buy it. It was right to buy it at $9. At $102? No. I don't see many institutions jumping in at $102 to buy this. I see retail investors going, let's stuff it to the world. It's a great American business. It's a bit like the Trump coin when it went up and then down 78 or 80%. Be very careful. There just isn't. The secret to be making money has always been and always will be is buying a great business undervalue. It's a great business, massively overvalued. There's no two ways about it. Just because it's exciting and Alex Karp is all rock and roll, This is not entertainment. This is real money, a real business, and I implore you to consider that before you just stump up your money, because it's very easy sat on the toilet with your Robinhood just buying more and more of this. I'm now going to end this stream. I've got to get out and put out our Palantir earnings. Now it's broken down like this. And also Pfizer, AMD, Google, race for the morning. Get ready for all those earning calls. Plus, I've got to get some sleep. So I've got to leave you. I'm going to give everyone now the link to the extra channel. Please join me. We'll be alive 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Here is the extra. Join me there live right now. I'm going to end the stream and get to work. There you go. Good stuff. Another good earnings. Very dramatic. Very designed to fire everybody up. And it works. And you'll keep doing it. And it will keep going up. And they'll keep taking profit from the table. As much as they sit there and smile at you, they are taking profit from the table. Be careful. It's not an investment at this point. It's joining a fan club. Click above my head for all the links. Down below in the description. Over here and over here, I'll put the earnings and the playlist for Palantir. That's it from me. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other. Okay, there we go. I shall put that out as its own video. And we'd like to mention our sponsors. Thank you, Stacey Bailey. Of course, we will. So please do support our sponsors. They pay $99 a month to sponsor the channel. Crafty Falcon. All he asks is that you subscribe to his YouTube channel. There is his YouTube channel. Please click on that and subscribe to him. We've grown his channel from around about 8,000 to 11,000 now. Very nice indeed. We have this one here, CRC, who's a member of our channel. Also, please do support him by subscribing to his YouTube channel. There are the links. We all support our members. All our members support us, so we support them. Please do. He's not had so much luck yet in everyone subscribing to him. Please do. Hasn't moved hardly at all in the last week or so. Please do click on the subscribers here and help him out. We next have Pal Group. He's very passionate about XRP and Tilray. I wonder how passionate it will be about Tilray today. Now it goes under $1 and I said it will be delisted. Anyway, let's see. Pal, consider subscribing to Pal's channel. And last but not least, we have our Stacey Bailey, Savage Faith Creations. Savage Faith Creations, Stacey Bailey is a member of our channel who supports our channel. $99. No corporations can do it. Everyone supports us the same way. And they're all members. They're all viewers of the family. And she has some great personalized merchandise. Make America godly again. Glasses, t-shirts, hats. You can have your name put on these. There's a sticker there, XRP sticker. There is Blessed Waffle Beanie. The devil saw me on my knees and thought we won until I said amen. I like it. We've got iPhone cases. We got stickers. We got all kinds of stuff. Stacey Bailey will make and customize for you. You're supporting one of our members, and all you got to do is click on her website. Now, even if you don't wish to buy anything, if you simply click on her website, here we go again. Every time I do this, she will start to rank up more and more and more. And when people look for merchandise, they will find her because people are clicking on her all over the world. So help her grow her business. She supports us. We want to do the same for her. Absolutely right. There we go. Let's have a look. Savage Faith Creations. Real talk, Martyn. Should I just do a PLTR and okay, I'll do this at the end as well. All right, let's do this as well. I just did it there, but it needs to be done as its own video. So let me just do that now. Come back to here. Come back to here. Right. Okay. Okay. PLTR, Palantir Technologies. Let me give you my reaction to the earnings. The earnings call, as always, was the best presented earnings you've ever seen from any company. It's absolutely fantastic the way they do it, all on air and all on camera. There was Mr. Ives, though, who was very disrespectful, I felt. He was wandering through the studio, maybe just visited the bathroom to do his question to Alex, and they couldn't hear him because he's wandering around, messing around. Very disrespectful, in my opinion. That was him. However, what about, I'm just going to share it on the screen for you just briefly, Alex Karp's performance? Well, retail investors love this guy. He's known as the Pied Piper, very much like Elon Musk. We heard F-bombs and S-bombs all over the place. Well, not all over the place. There was 3 times. However, I'm going to put a warning out today because it's not responsible and it's not professional if I don't. It's very YouTuber-ish if I don't, but that's not what we do here on this channel. We tell you the real story, the truth. It's a great business, no question. What it's achieving is great. However, Alex very clearly often goes back to his bullying days and all the rest of it, do a bit of swearing, do a bit of drama. He's very, very, very much appealing to the retail investor. Many gamblers here, many speculators here that love the whole USA, USA, USA at any price. This stock is over 230 times earnings. It's one of the most expensive stocks, if not the most expensive stock in the world. It's the same as paying $230 for a can of Coke. Remember, this company, Alex included, do keep taking profits off the table. It's making them very, very rich. Remember, there's not a single financial analyst in the history of the world ever that would disagree with my following statement. The secret to investing is to buying a great business under value, not just buying a great business. I could go out tomorrow and buy a fantastic Ferrari Enzo and it could be amazing. However, it's going to lose money. Just because it's a great business or great item does not make it a great investment. Alex is great at delivering, but he's even better at selling. Well, he takes profit from you. Be careful if you're buying. Most institutions are not buying at this level. They were in at $8, $9. Retail investors that watch this video get excited by what they're hearing. They love the F-bomb and the S-bomb and the drama and the hands waving in the air. It's a great business, but would you pay $230 for a can of Coke? Of course you wouldn't. You'd be absolutely bonkers if you did. And that is exactly what people are doing right now. So please be careful. It is a great business, no question about it, but it's massively overbought. And those that are buying it are essentially retail investors. And Alex does exactly what he's doing, firing you up. And remember, he's taking profits off the table while you do it. It wouldn't be responsible for me not to say this. YouTube channels who back this stock all the time want to say it's great, great, great. We're all going to get rich, up, up, up. They love it. They're all part of it. Why? Because they're selling the videos and they're backing it up and it's promoting their stock. It's pumping their stock. As you know, I never pump and dump any stock at all. I only own the S&P. I tell you the truth. I'm not here to promote my own money and sell videos. This will not be a popular video. Not many people will watch it. It doesn't matter. I can't not do it. It's the right thing to do. It's a great business, but a great business that makes you money has to be bought undervalued. Every financial advisor ever in the history of the world who's worth his salt will tell you that. That's it from me. Click above my head for all the links down below in the description. Over here and over here, you'll find more videos. I'll put the earnings to Palantir and the Palantir playlist. I suggest you go and check it out. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other. All right, guys, I've got to get out of here. Massively over time. That's it. Let's have a look at your comments. Yes. What a day, though. What a day. Yes, classic. Hi, Martyn. I see news that Trump will pause the tariff for 30 days. How do you think that will affect the drop today? It's great. I mean, it's just obvious. You know, the market's looking good. We'll be green tomorrow, 100%. Like your new mug, Mike. Yes, congratulations. Mike has his mug. Thanks, friend. I had 83 strike calls but chickened out before close. Mike, pick up that guitar once in a while, Mike. I'm holding February 21. Martyn, I wanted to say again, thank you for everything and all your coverage. Hope it's a good evening. Thank you. Sightless, I appreciate that. Here's from the south side of the stock market. That's all. I know, Andrew. Stacey, you should make a circle beard mug. Martyn can't be your only hobby. Martyn can't be your only hobby. Stacey could grow a circle beard. Circle beards? What's going on? They need a circle beard. Preach. Matthew. Perfectly said, Martyn. My pleasure. Thank you. I hope hardly anyone will watch that video, but that's fine. James, if you do it, make a video. Stacey, yes, James. What are circle beards? Yes, Cedar agreed. I used to live in Chelsea, London, and used to see Bob Geldof around. Same grunge look. Yes, very much. Nothing wrong with the look, of course. Look who any way you want, but there's no need to swear, is there? Cheers, everyone. Thanks, Martyn. Bar humbug. Thanks again, Martyn. You're welcome. I'm clean-shaved, always have been. Yeah, thank you for covering the earnings, Martyn. It's much appreciated. Thanks, Martyn. Have a great night. Get some sleep. Thank you very much. Thanks, Martyn. Bob Geldof, great in the wall. That's it. I'm done. I'm out of here. Here's the link. Join me on Extra as I make these videos. I'm going to get in a pair of shorts and T-shirt. So if you want to see me sitting here in my shorts and T-shirt, join me on Extra. Just for the hell of it. But that's it from me. Thank you ever so much. Have a great evening. I'm going to go and get some sleep once I put out these videos and got all the earnings set for the morning. Then I can sleep. Oh. I'm doing way too much. I did say to Leah, actually, I know it's only Monday, but I'm thinking of taking the week off. I so could just take a week off. I'm telling you now, I could take a week off. Just give me one excuse, one reason to do it, and I'm out of here. I need a break. I had a holiday. My last holiday was in October, and it was the first holiday in 2 years. And I go live 12 hours a day at the moment, 15 hours a day. In fact, more than that now the last 2 days. I've hardly slept. In fact, I haven't slept at all. That's it from me. Have a wonderful evening. See you back in the morning. 2 earnings, opening bell, closing bell, 2 more earnings. Absolutely. I'm trying to keep up with Donald Trump. To be fair, he's working so hard, I can't keep up with him. Just can't keep up with the stories. All right, that's it for me. Go do it, Martyn. What, take a week off? What are you all going to watch? If I take a week off, would you all promise to watch my videos on loop? Right, let me do it. Here. We'll give you a day. Okay, start a poll. Okay, if I took a day off, would you watch my videos on loop? That way I wouldn't lose any money. Yes, no. All right? If I took a day off, would you watch my videos on loop? Hey? Would you? Oh my God.
Midnight Bob donated $100 through a super chat. Take a week.
Cheers, Bob. How many roads must a man walk down? Oh, there we go. Cheers, Bob. Wow, Bob. Yeah, that's $100. That's tempting. That's tempting. Bob says yes. I'll take a week. If I took a day off, would you watch my videos on loop? 50-50. Good work, Midnight Bob. Damn, Bob. I know. You have too many earnings tomorrow. Yeah, 4 tomorrow, plus reviews. Right. Hey, Leah. Bob just gave me $100 and said take the week off. That's nice, isn't it? Like that. Like that. Hang on. So let's go behind the scenes. We'll go behind the scenes. We'll go behind the scenes. There you go. That's behind the scenes. There you go. We're behind the scenes now. Wow. I've turned all the lights out. We're behind the scenes. There we go. Look how hot it's got. I got my trousers pulled up. We've gone from being cold to being hot. Overnight. Unbelievable. The big screen's out. Yeah. That's it. Take 2 days off. Somewhere in the middle. Best response ever. Cheers, Bob. Best response ever. Awesome. At the end of the day, midnight. Yeah, top man. Then get back to it. Saab saying, yeah, take 2 days off. I take 2 days off? Right, well, I'll be back when I'm back, which of course is tomorrow morning with 2 earnings. Right, I got to get out of here. The media are begging Trump to take a day off. They can't take a break either. Yeah, I know. It's like, seriously, I can't keep up with it. I'm loving it. Okay. Take the weekend off. That's a good idea. Coming from Sensei, I tell you what, it's called menopause. Is that what it's called? Is it? Oh, that's nice. That's nice, isn't it? Right, I got to get out of here. Thanks ever so much, guys, for the chat. I appreciated it, and I'm too tired to even turn it off. How do I turn this off? Actually, one day I'm going to forget how to turn it off. When I come in the studio, it takes me about half an hour to turn everything on. There's so many buttons. And as you get older, you forget stuff. And I've got no doubt about it. One day, I'm going to forget how to turn stuff off. I'm not joking. I'll go, I don't even know how to turn it off. I'll be sitting here going, I don't know how to turn it off. Oh, that's what a circle beard, is it? There's no way I'm having that. What the hell's that? Who'd want that? You're like a right bloody idiot. Don't have that. Stacey Bailey can't have that. Why? How can Stacey Bailey? I've just looked in the breakfast bar or whatever it is on Discord. Anyway, you don't even take the weekends off. No, I don't. I work every single day, 12 hours a day. That's how we got so many subscribers. I'm doing it for you, Sensei, you and Vaz, so you can have an audience. 62,000. Oh my God. That's why you want to know why I've got 62,000 subscribers? Because I put the work in. Just pull it. Well, there isn't really a plug. Everything's like battery. It's not really a plug. I mean, there's thousands of plugs, right? I wonder if I can show you. No, I'll do it another day. I'll show you behind the scenes one day. I won't do it today. All right, I'm going to go. Bugger it. Martyn, you are seriously... Yeah, I am. Sleep deprived means you don't know what you're doing. That's me. See you later, folks. Good night. God bless. See you in the morning. Join me on Extra as I sit here in my pants. Probably will. Too hot. And I won't even care. If Alex Karp can shout and swear, why can't I sit in my underpants while I'm doing editing? No, I can do that. The poll says no. Terrible. Yeah. The poll says no. 19 people voted and more people said no. You take time off. We're not watching your videos. That's what I got to keep going for, Bob. Bob. Seriously, Bob. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell Leah she won't want to do it tonight because it's too late. She won't do it tomorrow because it'll be too late after earnings. But on Wednesday, I'll say to Leah, I've got $100. Let me take you to dinner to our favorite steakhouse. And she'll say, yeah, I'm okay with that. That's very nice. So, Bob, thank you. I'm going to use that money to take Leah out to dinner on Wednesday night to our favorite steakhouse, okay? That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Now, Stacey, are you still here? I've got a message for you. Stacey, are you still here? I've got a message directly for you. Stacey, are you here? Stacey, are you here? You got to remember, there's 30 seconds behind all this, so I have to say, Stacey. And knowing full well she's probably here, but I have to wait a minute for her to respond. It's because if I don't, I'd just be sitting in silence, wouldn't I? So I have to keep saying, Stacey, are you here? And this is very relative to everybody else as well. Stacey. Stacey. Thank you, James. Thank you, James. Savage Faith Creations. Maybe I got to say that. Maybe she doesn't respond to Stacey anymore. She was here 10 seconds ago. Stacey. Stacey. Stacey.
Which one? Stacey or Stacey?
What? End. Siri, end. Siri, stop.
Okay. I found this on the
Siri, stop.
Siri.
Hey Siri, cancel.
Done.
Flippin' heck. Yes, I'm scared. Right. Stacey messaged me earlier. I'm going to sit back and relax. Stacey messaged me earlier and she said, Martyn, can you get Jefferson Boots on the show? She said that. She messaged me in Discord. Now, Jefferson Boots is the CEO of the gold mine. And gold is very much in favor right now with instability, insecurities, unknowns, gold all-time high. And she messaged me and she said, could you get Jefferson Boots on the show? And for those you don't know, we've had Jefferson Boots on the show, and he's been saying for a while that he's got a private company and he's about to go public on the New York Stock Exchange. Remember all that? And many of you have been buying the pre-IPO shares. In other words, you've been buying a private company, getting massive benefits when it goes public. You get discounts, 25% extra shares. That's what people do when they buy pre-IPO, right? They buy stocks before they go IPO. Initial public offering. A pre-IPO is good, but if you can buy the company private before it pre-IPOs and then before it goes public, then obviously you get benefit. Well, Stacey said to me today, could you get him on the show? It's been a while. So within 30 seconds, I mean, literally, immediately, as she said it, she was typing it into Discord. I got on the phone, Jefferson, and I said, Jeff, can you come on the show? Stacey wants to know what's going on. One of our members, whatever. And he said, yep. And I said, right, let's book it in now. So I said, let's have you on the show Thursday, 10 o'clock Central. So this Thursday, 10 o'clock Central, Jefferson Boots is live on the show, and he's got an update. He told me on the phone they're about to go public. So you heard it first. He's very excited. Can't wait to talk to us all. He would have called me another day or so. But it was just very good timing. So there you go, Stacey. Don't say I don't do stuff for you. Right, that's it from me. Thanks ever so much. Ta-ra, good night. See you all next time. Bye-bye.